Okay, this is a how-to on to do a GM financial lease. So our customer today is Brooke English. First thing we're going to do is make sure that we have them logged in the floor log here in DealerSocket, the sales dashboard. Click on the calculator. We got a stock number loaded in already. We want to make sure the state that we're in is correct because that's going to affect our taxes, tags, and fees. We're going to go to the lease option here, and should have populated our MSRP. Notice you got an extra field here. It's base MSRP. This value doesn't matter. It's not going to change anything. It's more for reference. This MSRP here, notice the asterisk that is required. You must use this, the correct value, because that impacts the residual calculation. Remember, the residual is a percentage times your MSRP value. Capitalized cost, that's basically a fancy word for saying selling price. Okay, so that can go up or down. Rebates, we're going to need to know that. We're going to need to know money factor, term, and residual. Now, the changes you make in here will not carry as far as term, money factor, and rate, which is this section here, will not carry over into your compare tab. So just something to keep in mind, but your price, trade value, and rebates will. Okay, so we've got Global Connect logged in already. We want to go to Incentive Management and then VIN Incentive Lookup. We're going to put our VIN number in, so I'm just going to copy and paste. Check the date. There's no special pricing program, so we can leave those the same. And for this customer, we'll say they're in Pawleys Island. We're going to submit. And then, ideally, just to look at leases, it's best if you click on the lease box up here, so you won't be as many distractions. This term column is what you're looking for. Generally, it's 36 months. Just a tip, you can look at 39-month lease, and if the residual doesn't go up by more than 2%, then it actually usually turns out a little better as long as that rate is very close or similar, as long as there's not a big jump. Okay, so for this example though, we're just going to stick with a standard 36-month lease. So we're going to check the little circle there. It'll expand our programs just like a regular retail purchase. We look for the dollar amounts to the left. Black usually means almost everybody gets it. So we're going to check the $400 rebate. This is a cap cost reduction. Notice how I hovered over the name of the rebate. It expands the name. This is for GM employee pricing. This is lease loyalty, and this would be if they have a competitive lease. Currently, the customer, if they qualify for a lease loyalty, as in they're in a current Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, GMC lease, they don't have to terminate their lease. They don't have to turn it in. They don't have to end it. So the wife, for example, could be, the spouse could be leasing a GM vehicle. Same thing with the competitive lease. They don't have to terminate that lease to get the rebate. Okay, so in this example, looks like we have $400. We can minimize this to clean it up. We have $500 regular rebate, $400 additional rebate for a total of $900. So go back here, pop in our rebate amount, and then for the rest of these three terms, I usually just go straight into the compare tab because again, this here won't impact what you see here. I'm going to uncheck loan just so that when we print it out, we just see lease figures. And I'm going to delete these other terms because they're not applicable for the time being. Rate, go back to VIN-ZIP. 1.22% is the buy. Remember, this is a rate, not a money factor, so no conversion is needed. 1.22, and we can mark it up 2.4 points, 2.4 APR points. So 1.22 plus 2.4 is 3.62, if I did my math correctly. And the residual, for this example, we'll do 15,000 miles a year. All these, the residual figures are based off of 15,000 miles a year. Okay, so 57%. We'll put in 57%. Start with the cash down, 2,000 and 2,000. Okay, and print. And we have a nice clean sheet here. 2,000 down plus first payment, 36 months for 36 and 64 cents a month. Print. Okay. A couple tips. Back here in the worksheet screen, obviously if you want to work off of this info, you can click the payment box and click check, and then it will carry all this information over to your worksheet so you can see that the term, money factor, and rate's been updated. This drive off, okay, you can roll the drive off, or basically notice it's 2,000 down plus the rebate, because rebate is cash down basically, plus first payment. So if you added those three numbers together, it would total this drive off amount. Okay. Now you can roll that first payment in by clicking the plus button. And notice how it is now just cash down plus rebate. Also makes your payment go up because you're paying for that first payment throughout the remaining payments. So again, went from $436 to $450, but the customer only puts $2,900 down due at signing instead of $3,336. Keep in mind those changes that you make here in this drive off do not carry over when you push it to automate, so you have to make the appropriate changes back there as well. Refer to the GM Financial Lease quick guide, but general rule of thumb, when you look at these residuals here, these are 15,000 miles a year, which, side note, you want to change it here so that when it prints on the lower corner, see there, program miles is 12,000. To get it to show differently, this is where you change it, 15,000. Okay. If you go from 15,000 to 12,000, this goes up 2 points. Remember, as residual goes up, payment goes down. Okay. So notice how the payment affected went to 419, and then 10,000 miles per year, you would move it up 1 more point for a total of 3 points in residual from 15 to 10,000 miles. Okay, so again, 15,000 miles a year is, you use this grid. 12,000 miles, you add 2 points to this number, and 10,000 miles, you add 3 points to this number.